Hi, and today we're going to talk about what happens when the doctor puts you back to work, releases you back to work when you've been injured on the job. What does it mean? What are your options? This is a long series of videos, and we're going to dive into it. Hi, my name is Kaplan Morrell, and I'm an attorney who does workers' compensation in Colorado. I've been doing it since 1995, so depending on when you're seeing this video, that was anywhere from 26 years or more ago. And we've been helping injured and disabled workers here in Colorado since 1995 navigate the streams of getting injured. And we're going to talk about what getting released to work means, what kind of questions you need to ask, and what does it mean for your case. Please stay till the end, and I'm going to show you how to get a free booklet on how injured workers get screwed, the 5 ways they get screwed and they don't even know it. So stay till the end and I'll give you a link on how to get that free booklet. Okay, so let's dive into it. Today, a lot of times I get questions from clients who will say, the doctor's released me to work. The doctor's released me to work. Does this mean my case is over? What does this mean? Does this mean I'm done? And the answer is no, that's not the case. So I want you to think about when you're injured on the job, there's a lot of stuff going on, but the biggest thing is in addition to needing medical care, you are more likely than not for serious injuries unable to go back to do 100% of the job that you used to be doing when you got injured. And the workers' compensation system looks at this and says, do you have restrictions? What are your limitations? What are the restrictions that the doctor is giving you? And hopefully the doctor you're seeing is giving you restrictions, or at least giving you an opinion about what you can and can't do. If you're treating with an occupational medicine physician, which chances are, if you've got a work injury in Colorado, you're treating with a doctor who specializes in occupational medicine, they know at the end of every visit to give you restrictions. And it may be, don't lift more than 5 pounds, don't lift more than 10 pounds, no lifting, pushing, pulling more than 30 pounds. Sometimes they get really specific and talk about can't lift from the floor to the waist, etc. Okay, but all of those things are called your restrictions. And then, if you've got restrictions, your employer has a choice. Do they want to accommodate your restrictions and bring you back to work, or do they want to not bring you back? And if they decide not to bring you back, then the insurance company should be paying you 2/3 of your lost wages, called temporary disability benefits. Now, sometimes the injuries are so severe, a doctor will say, unable to work, don't work. That tends to be unusual and for a short period of time, because occupational medicine physicians, part of their job, part of their marketing to insurance companies is, hey, we get people back to work. Now, that doesn't mean work in any capacity. It just means we're not going to keep the injured worker unable to work at all, ever, for a long period of time. And so at some point, a doctor will say, okay, I'm going to release you back to duty. And sometimes I get injured workers who are like very freaked out about this, thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be thrown back into the same heavy, demanding, physically challenging work I was capable of doing before I got injured. And that's not the case. So question number 1 is, if you are released back to work, you need to ask the doctor, am I being released back to work with restrictions or without restrictions? And if the doctor says without restrictions, then it's time to talk about whether or not you feel capable of going back to unrestricted duty at all. If the doctor says, I'm releasing you back to work, but with restrictions, then find out what those restrictions are. Understand what those restrictions are. It's a very common thing for injured workers to tell me, oh, my restrictions are can't lift anything heavy. Well, I don't know what the hell heavy means. Heavy to me might mean 200 pounds. I can tell you heavy to a 2-year-old child means anything over 15 pounds. Get very specific in understanding what your restrictions are. And if there's certain things that you feel that you can't do or you can do but for a very limited time, talk to the doctor about that if the restrictions don't match what you think they should be. And we'll kind of talk about that in other videos about how to talk to your doctor about restrictions. But as long as the doctor is saying that you can go back to work with restrictions, then it's just up to your employer. Do you wish to accommodate me? Okay, clients of ours ask, do I have to give the employer my restrictions? And my personal answer is, yeah, you should. You should always just say, here are my restrictions, here's the plan. Communicate with your employer just as you would want them to communicate with you if for some reason they couldn't operate normally and they were putting you off work because they couldn't do everything they needed to do. Similarly, you should talk with your employer when you can't do everything you need to do because of a work injury, show them the restrictions, etc. And you can ask them, do you have work within these restrictions? It is not the end of the world to be released to work when you have a work injury in Colorado. In fact, it's a good thing. Typically, and again, statistics show injured workers who do go back to work and who are working modified duty, okay, so they're not doing everything, they're working within the restrictions, they tend to do better. It gets you out of the house. It keeps you active. It keeps you connected with your employment. And that, in the end, is a great thing. So if you've been released to work with restrictions, not the end of the world, communicate with your employer, see if there's modified work available that you can do. If not, don't worry. The insurance company will still have to pay 2/3 of lost wages. Now, what happens if you're being released to work and the doctor says, I'm releasing you without restrictions and you're at maximum medical improvement? That's a different concern. Now you're an MMI, and we've got other videos for that, which you'd be well served to watch. So thank you very much for watching this. And as you can tell, getting injured on the job in Colorado can be a very challenging and difficult process and procedures with lots of little different nooks and alleys, and you need somebody to help you maneuver around them. There are 5 ways that injured workers get screwed over by the insurance companies and they don't even know it. And if you text us to 970-356-9898 and tell us, hey, I saw your video, please send me the booklet on 5 ways. We will be happy to send that to you free of charge, no obligation, no consultation needed, just something that we'd like to put out there for the community. Otherwise, if you or someone you know has been injured on the job and looking for help walking this path in Colorado, there is a law firm that's dedicated to helping injured and disabled workers. We offer free consultations. We only charge a contingent fee. And with that, we'd love to help you. Please call us at 970-356-9898. You can text us at 970-356-9898. You can send us a message via WhatsApp, +1 970-356-9898. You can also go to our website, kaplanmorrell.com. And with that, thank you for spending part of your day with me. Bye.